For decades, insulin has been the most prescribed treatment for people with diabetes. But even so, the largest medical trial ever run by some of the top diabetes research centers in the world, like the Joslin Diabetes Center at Harvard, the University of Auckland, and the Karolinska Institute in Sweden, shows that insulin has almost no effect on the real cause of diabetes. In this investigative documentary, we want to share a shocking discovery found inside the bodies of people with diabetes, a hidden trigger that was found in 100% of them. Using for the first time very powerful machines called high-resolution transmission electron microscopes, we were able to see a deadly molecule in action. A molecule that makes fat cells explode into the blood, stiffens your arteries, attacks the liver, and paralyzes the pancreas by choking off blood flow and suffocating the vital organs one by one. That's why the European Association for the Study of Diabetes is sounding the alarm. For diabetics, it is absolutely critical to target and eliminate this molecule, because once you do that, the sugar spikes stop immediately, which means not only eliminating diabetes, but also melting away dangerous belly fat, fully healing your organs, and flooding your body with energy again. It's like flipping your body's power switch back on. And the best part? By eliminating this molecule, you also shield yourself from the most terrifying diabetes complications: heart attacks, amputations, blindness, even Alzheimer's. Richard Doty, 59, did it in 11 days.
I'm Richard Dowdy. I'm 59, and a couple weeks ago, my doctor gave me a wake-up call. And in only 11 days, my lab results came back to normal. Feels good to feel good again.
Carlos Cervantes, 53, was at death's door when he tried it.
It's already been 18 months since I completely eliminated those toxic molecules, and my results are still perfect. I no longer have diabetes, I've lost weight, and I'm full of energy. I never would have believed this was possible.
Steve Vincent, 58, from Southampton, England, was told there was no cure and he had increased risk of heart attack, stroke, blindness, and limb loss. He now remains diabetes-free and says,
"Hey, it's Steve Vincent. I'm 58 now and I just got my latest blood work back. Every single number is right in the normal range. My cholesterol is down where it should be, and my blood pressure is steady and normal too. A year ago, I wouldn't have believed I'd be saying that, but here we are."
"Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Scott, and right now, I want to finally set the record straight. What type 2 diabetes really is, where it actually comes from, and what we can do about it. If you're like most people suffering from diabetes, you've probably tried just about everything: metformin, insulin injections, low-carb diets, exhausting exercise routines, you name it. But when it comes to diabetes, I have to be brutally honest with you. All the treatments available on the market don't address the root cause of the problem, and they're never going to give you lasting results. And Big Pharma knows it, long before their drugs ever hit the shelves. But they'd rather keep you dependent and keep cashing in. Your doctor may have already told you there's no real way to reverse diabetes, and in a moment, you'll see exactly why that's not true. But let me be crystal clear. What I'm about to share is nothing like anything you've ever tried, seen, or heard before. It's rooted in solid science. It's a solution that unclogs and restores your pancreas, liver, and heart so they work the way they should: clean, strong, and fully functional. And it doesn't just lower blood sugar. It helps melt away dangerous belly fat, restores energy, protects your memory, and brings back your health and independence. It's been confirmed by groundbreaking research from institutions like Newcastle University in the UK, University of Guelph in Canada, the European Association for the Study of Diabetes. That's why it's absolutely critical you pay close attention to what I'm about to share. As someone who's spent over 20 years in the medical field, and as a dedicated diabetes researcher, I've seen firsthand how devastating this disease can be, how it steals your energy, your confidence, and your joy for life, how it puts your heart, your kidneys, your mobility, and your life at risk. That's why I'm truly glad you're watching this right now. Because what I'm about to reveal can finally free you from the crushing burden of diabetes. And it doesn't matter how long you've had it, what medications you're on, or how old you are. 69,875 people have already restored their blood sugar naturally, and they're living proof that there is a simple, powerful solution. Just imagine what your life would be like without constant finger pricks, without fear of complications, without insulin shots. No more exhaustion, dizziness, or restless nights. Just steady energy and peaceful sleep. No more feeling trapped by cravings or guilty after every meal. Just freedom and balance. And that's not all. Because by targeting the hidden cause of diabetes, You won't just normalize your blood sugar, you'll also protect your heart, safeguard your memory, and keep your body strong for years to come. You'll be securing your independence for the rest of your life. The kind of independence that lets you eat out with friends, travel with your spouse, and enjoy time with your kids and grandkids without constant worry. And it all becomes possible once you understand the science behind this diabetes reversing mechanism. That's exactly what I'm going to reveal in this video. I'll also share why certain communities around the world, like villagers in remote parts of Asia, have virtually zero cases of diabetes, even though they eat plenty of carbs. And I'll walk you through a shocking 7-question quiz developed by a European Association for the Study of Diabetes that reveals the current toxic fat buildup inside your pancreas and liver. Then, I'll give you the exact method that flushes out these toxic molecules before it's too late. It's the same method I used when my own father's diabetes became so severe, doctors wanted to amputate his leg, which ended up looking like this. And I'll also explain why popular treatments like metformin, insulin, or strict diets simply don't work long-term, and why so many costly therapies keep failing again and again. Now, before I go any further, I need to give you a warning. This breakthrough is already being used by a small group of forward-thinking doctors here in the US, but Big Pharma is scrambling to shut it down. Because it's not a synthetic, lab-made drug, they can't patent it, they can't profit from it. And now that this video is gaining attention, it's threatening to cost them billions in lost revenue. Meanwhile, this could save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every month in medical expenses. That's why Big Pharma would love nothing more than to see this video wiped off the internet. So, if you want to normalize your blood sugar, protect your independence, and finally reclaim your health, make sure you watch this video all the way to the end. My name is Peter Scott, and before I became a diabetes expert, I was a metabolism professor at a leading medical university in San Francisco for over 15 years. And I can confidently say, I've dedicated my entire career to studying natural solutions for serious conditions, and my greatest passion has always been metabolic health. I've published hundreds of scientific papers, written 3 books that have reached more than 68,000 people worldwide, and over the last few years, I've focused entirely on diabetes. For me, this work isn't just professional, it's deeply personal. Because 5 years ago, I watched my own father live through a waking nightmare. He struggled with severe type 2 diabetes during what should have been the most peaceful years of his life. To help you truly understand what he went through and how he turned it all around, I've invited my dad here today to share his story. Hi, Dad.
Hey, son. Good to see you. Thanks for asking me to do this.
Of course. I'm grateful you said yes. Let's jump right in. Tell everyone how it started.
Now, at first, it was little things. I get these sudden, uncontrollable cravings for sweets, chocolate, warm apple pie, anything sugary. Then the fatigue set in. I thought it was just seasonal, but it kept getting worse. My doctor ran some tests and said the words I never expected to hear: type 2 diabetes.
Right. This was 5 years ago, and you tried to do everything right.
I did. I took the metformin, watched my food, at least I tried, and I kept swimming 3 times a week, but my blood sugar stayed high. Then came the tingling in my legs, the late night sweats, the constant hunger. We added insulin, and somehow things still spiraled.
And that's when the complication hit.
Yeah, I developed a bacterial infection in my left leg. It escalated fast, necrotizing fasciitis. I was terrified. I felt fragile, like my body had stopped fighting back. Here's a real photo of how my leg ended up looking because of diabetes.
I remember the day the surgeon pulled us aside.
December 20th. He said if we waited, the infection could spread. He recommended amputation of my left leg. I went numb. Your mom had to hold me up. I was sure my life as I knew it was over.
I could see the shock on your face. The next few days were rough.
Rough is an understatement. I could hardly sleep. Nightmares kept me up about the operating room, about never walking the same again. I even worried diabetes would steal my mind. I read online about some memory problems tied to high blood sugar. It felt like everything was closing in.
That was the moment I knew I had to fight for you. I dove into the research, night after night, because I refused to accept that your future was just meds, side effects, and more bad news.
You showed up with a different plan. You explained how we had to target what's clogging the system, not just push more meds and hope. Honestly, I was skeptical, but I trusted you.
So if you're watching this and you feel trapped by rising numbers, by cravings, by fear, please hear me. You're not broken. In a minute, I'll show you the simple, science-backed method we used to help my dad normalize his blood sugar and reclaim his health. Plus a quick 7-question checkup that reveals how much hidden toxic load is stressing your pancreas and liver right now and what to do next.
Yes, if I can do it after everything I went through, everyone can.
So stay with me to the end. This could change everything, because when I rushed to the hospital that night, I could barely recognize my father. He looked pale, exhausted, and on the verge of tears. The strong, lively man I had always looked up to was gone in that moment. And the worst part, he just kept saying, "I thought the meds would help me. I thought I was doing everything right, but my body is failing me, and I don't know why." Then the surgeon walked in and said the words I'll never forget. "We'll have to amputate your left leg, or the infection will spread through your body." I felt the ground slip from under me. My father's face went blank. He couldn't even speak. He just looked down at his swollen leg, devastated. Mom grabbed his hand, trying to hold back her own tears. For me, it was like time froze. Because of diabetes and the infection it caused, my father was about to lose his leg.
And all I could think was, how did it come to this? How did diabetes take everything from me? I wanted to scream. I wanted to fight. But I felt helpless.
That's when I made myself a promise. I wasn't going to let this disease steal my father's future. I wasn't going to sit back and watch as more medications piled on, more side effects stacked up, and now even amputation was on the table. I knew I had to find another way. So I grabbed my laptop and started digging through medical journals, clinical trial databases, international research archives. I looked at new drugs, surgeries, experimental therapies, and what I discovered left me speechless. A report from the Diabetes Caucus confirmed that almost all diabetes drugs fail to address the root cause of the disease. They don't cure it. They don't reverse it. At best, they only manage symptoms until more complications show up. And yet Big Pharma keeps pushing new medications year after year, not to heal people, but to keep them dependent and to keep profits flowing. That's how they make tens of billions of dollars annually. And with that much money at stake, they'll do anything to suppress real solutions. I felt stuck, like I was slamming into a wall. But deep down, I knew there had to be an answer. And after 2 weeks of exhausting research, sleepless nights, and endless digging, I stumbled onto something extraordinary, a discovery that would go on to transform not only my father's life, but the lives of tens of thousands of people suffering from type 2 diabetes. It was the largest medical trial ever, conducted on 8,100 diabetics, in collaboration with some of the world's most prestigious universities, Harvard University, Newcastle University, and the University of Auckland. And this study finally answered the question that had been haunting me the most. Why do so many people continue to suffer even when they follow their doctor's orders, take their meds, and inject insulin every day? The shocking truth was this: the real cause of type 2 diabetes has almost nothing to do with eating sugar, carbs, or being overweight. Instead, it comes down to a tiny but highly toxic molecule that builds up in the body: ceramides. These ceramides were observed for the very first time using high-resolution transmission electron microscopes, and here's what they discovered. These toxic molecules act like microscopic fat magnets. They force fat cells to spill into the bloodstream, where they begin clogging your vital organs, starting with the liver, the pancreas, and eventually even the heart. This is catastrophic for your metabolism, because once the pancreas gets clogged with this toxic fat, it can no longer produce insulin properly. And insulin is the hormone that tells your cells to absorb sugar and turn it into energy. So when the pancreas shuts down, sugar has nowhere to go. It just floats around in your bloodstream, causing your blood sugar to skyrocket. That's the real reason why medications never fixed my father's condition. They weren't removing the toxic fat from his organs. They were just masking the symptoms while the disease kept getting worse. Even worse, the same toxic ceramides suffocate the liver and clog up the arteries around the heart. That's why diabetics have such high risks of fatty liver disease, heart attacks, and amputations, just like the one my father was facing. And here's the kicker: there are two kinds of people in this world: those who can flush out ceramides naturally, and those who can't. For the unlucky group, like my father and all diabetics, no amount of dieting, calorie counting, or exercise can make a difference. Because until you get rid of those poisonous ceramides, your organs will stay clogged and your blood sugar will stay high. That's why, no matter how hard you try, No matter how many meds you take, it's impossible to reverse type 2 diabetes unless you eliminate these toxic molecules. At that moment, I finally understood. The real enemy wasn't sugar, it wasn't carbs, it was ceramides, the invisible poison lurking inside my father's body. And if I could somehow find a way to target and destroy this deadly molecule, then maybe, just maybe, my dad's leg could heal, his blood sugar could normalize, and he could escape the nightmare of diabetes once and for all. This explains why diabetes rarely comes alone. It brings with it a storm of devastating symptoms: mental fog and confusion, nerve pain and tingling in the legs, bone-deep fatigue, sleepless nights, crushing cravings for sweets and carbs, dangerous weight gain. And the horrifying truth, type 2 diabetes is literally burning out your body from the inside. Your pancreas, liver, heart, and nerves are all part of one delicate, interconnected system. So when one piece breaks, like the pancreas, it destabilizes the entire network. And studies now show that if you've had diabetes for a long time, your risk of developing complications like heart attack, stroke, or Alzheimer's can jump by over 60%. Now, I'm going to share a simple quiz developed by the European Association for the Study of Diabetes right after a major breakthrough at Newcastle University. See if you answer yes to any of these questions. Do you sometimes feel drained, no matter how much you sleep? Do you struggle with unstoppable food cravings, especially for sweets or carbs? Have you noticed numbness, tingling, or pain in your legs or feet? Do you often feel dizzy, sweaty, or shaky between meals? Have you gained stubborn belly fat that won't go away no matter how much you diet or exercise? Have you noticed wounds or infections that take far longer to heal than they should? Do you sometimes feel confused, forgetful, or mentally foggy? If you answered yes to multiple questions, your organs may already be deteriorating faster than what's considered normal, just like my father's were. That's why the European Association for the Study of Diabetes is sounding the alarm. It's absolutely critical to target and flush out this toxic molecule immediately, because if you don't, your blood sugar won't come down, your organs will stay clogged, and the complications will only get worse until your doctor starts talking about amputations, dialysis, or worse. But how can I fix this? That question haunted me, especially as I watched my dad spiral deeper into fatigue, cravings, infections, and the terrifying reality of losing his leg. Then I thought about my 2 decades of work as a researcher and all the doctors and scientists I'd worked with or taught over the years. So I sat down and wrote an email, a detailed summary of my findings with every study attached, and I sent it to 137 specialists. Some I knew personally, some had been my students, others I'd only heard of or found online. And out of all of them, only one responded. But it wasn't just anyone. It was from an old colleague, one of America's top endocrinologists, Dr. Richard Thompson. He had been like family to me during med school, my best friend. Of course, he knew my dad. He adored his barbecue ribs. We used to spend weekends debating medicine and football in the same breath. Years of relentless work had earned him a spot among the top specialists in the US. But when he replied, I was stunned by what he said. I've got the answer you're looking for, Peter, but we need to meet in person. Unfortunately, our meeting had to wait 2 weeks. Richard was constantly traveling for conferences and clinical trials. But when we finally sat down together, I learned something I never expected. Richard hadn't just read the study about the ceramides. He was part of it. But you won't find his name listed because he wasn't there as a lead doctor. He was there as a patient. You see, Richard had been quietly battling type 2 diabetes himself. It got so bad, he had to step back from surgeries. His blood sugar was unstable, his weight kept climbing, and worst of all, he was starting to lose his vision. After the study was published, the one revealing that the real cause of diabetes is the toxic ceramides clogging the pancreas and liver, Richard set out on a mission to cleanse his own body of these poisonous molecules and restore his health. And that mission led him to someone incredible, Dr. Sijin Jun, a traditional healer from Tibet, a man who, at over 70 years old, still had the energy, stamina, and metabolic health of someone half his age, lean, strong, and completely free of diabetes, despite enjoying plenty of rice and carbs in his daily meals. And here's what amazed me even more. There were dozens of people like him in that remote region, men and women in their 70s, 80s, even 90s, still maintaining steady energy, sharp minds, and absolutely no trace of diabetes. Their pancreas and liver were clearly clean and unclogged. But why? Why were their bodies functioning perfectly while my father's organs were deteriorating? That question led directly to the answer that saved my father's life. You see, Dr. John and many others like him had a simple daily ritual they'd followed since childhood. It all came down to a strange, traditional herbal tea made from roots, leaves, and berries they brewed every single morning. At first, I didn't understand. How could tea possibly have anything to do with reversing diabetes? But then I looked deeper. I realized that these specific plants are among the most powerful natural compounds on Earth for cleansing toxic ceramides out of the body, allowing the pancreas to start producing insulin properly again, and the liver to metabolize sugar efficiently. So naturally, I asked Richard, what exactly is in this tea? And how could it help my father? That's when he gave me everything. He told me, look, the traditional way they prepare this tea works for them. But your father didn't grow up drinking it. To get the same effect now, he'd need to consume massive amounts of these plants every single day, and even then it might not be enough. But Richard didn't stop there. He had already studied this ancient recipe in depth and isolated the key nutrients responsible for the healing effects. He extracted the most powerful compounds that flush out ceramides and melt away toxic fat clogging the pancreas, liver, and heart. It's the very solution he created for himself, the one that finally normalized his blood sugar and allowed him to regain his energy, lose weight, and return to the operating room in less than a month. And now comes the most exciting part, because I'm going to share exactly what those nutrients are and how they work to reverse diabetes at its root cause. The first ingredient is yarrow flowers. This powerful plant has been used for centuries in traditional medicine, but modern research shows its most incredible effect. It targets and flushes out ceramides, the toxic fat molecules that clog your pancreas and liver. Once you consume yarrow, its active compounds are quickly absorbed into your system, where they immediately begin cleansing your bloodstream and organ. This allows the first stage of pancreatic recovery to begin, restoring your body's natural ability to produce insulin. Because without clearing out these ceramides, your blood sugar will stay high no matter what else you try. A recent study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology confirmed yarrow's ability to improve fat metabolism and detoxify the body. Exactly what every diabetic needs to reverse the root cause of their disease. But of course, one ingredient alone isn't enough, which brings us to phase 2 of recovery. The second super ingredient is bitter melon, blended with juniper berries and a precise amount of banaba leaf. Together, they form a metabolic powerhouse. Bitter melon contains unique compounds that act almost like natural insulin, helping your cells absorb sugar from the blood. Juniper berries, rich in antioxidants, help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress in the pancreas. And banaba leaf contains corosolic acid, a rare compound shown in multiple clinical trials to lower blood glucose and improve insulin sensitivity. In fact, in a controlled trial with over 1,200 participants, banaba leaf extract significantly reduced fasting blood sugar levels in just a few weeks. So while yarrow cleanses your organs of toxic fat, bitter melon, juniper, and banaba restore your insulin function, helping to naturally balance blood sugar. But the real magic happens when these ingredients are combined with licorice root and white mulberry leaf. Licorice acts as a catalyst, breaking down stubborn fat deposits and easing digestion. White mulberry contains special flavonoids that slow down sugar absorption in the gut, preventing dangerous spikes after meals. Together, they create a potent effect that melts away belly fat, unclogs your pancreas, and protects your liver, bringing your body back into balance. And believe it or not, this is just the beginning. This unique formula also includes 7 more plant-based nutrients, each carefully selected to neutralize toxic ceramides in the bloodstream, boost pancreatic health, support healthy circulation and lower blood pressure, reduce inflammation throughout the body, and protect the heart from diabetes damage. The power of these ingredients is truly something special. But in the end, this isn't just about science. It's about what this discovery means for your life. It's about waking up with steady energy, enjoying your favorite meals without guilt, walking without pain, seeing your blood sugar numbers drop day by day, without fear of insulin shots or amputations. It's about holding on to the moments that matter most and living the rest of your life with freedom, strength, and confidence. The moment I discovered these powerful nutrients that eliminate ceramides and restore the pancreas, I knew right away, this was exactly what I wanted for my father. Even though he had tried some of these ingredients individually before, he had never taken all of them together and never in the precise dosages discovered by Dr. June and refined by Richard. So I reached out to trusted suppliers around the world and slowly managed to gather small quantities of each plant, ensuring they were pure, potent, and clinically effective. Once they arrived, I carefully combined them into a formula designed to flush ceramides, stabilize blood sugar, and bring my father's health back to life. It took weeks of research, testing, and fine-tuning, but when I finally finished, I couldn't wait to give it to him. And honestly, there's no one better than my father to tell you what happened next. So Dad, can you tell us what your experience was like using this concentrated version of the anti-ceramide diabetes formula?
Sure. You remember, at first, I didn't even want to try it, right? I was frustrated, overwhelmed by the years of high blood sugar, cravings, and injections, and honestly, I just didn't believe anything would work anymore.
I remember exactly how skeptical you were. You flat out refused to even consider it. And that's when I showed you the research, the story about Dr. Richard. He even spoke to you on the phone to convince you, remember?
Exactly. Hearing his story about struggling with type 2 diabetes and how he turned it around, that's what finally got through to me. So I gave it a chance. I started taking the formula every morning. It was very simple to use, just one capsule right after breakfast, so I wouldn't have any stomach issues. At first, the only real change I noticed was more energy, and it lasted all day, which for me was huge. But beyond that, not much. Honestly, I was a little let down at first.
Yeah, I remember being a little disappointed too. But that energy boost, that was a good sign something was happening. So what happened after those first few days?
Well, I remember you nagging me every single day to take it exactly the way Dr. Richard recommended. And thank God for that, because just when I was about to give up, my blood sugar started to come down. That relentless hunger began to fade, and the swelling and infection in my foot finally started to heal. I couldn't even tell you the exact moment it turned around, but I do remember waking up one morning, testing my fasting sugar, and realizing it had dropped almost 70 points.
There's actually something I've never told you. During those weeks you were taking the formula, I had one of the most emotional moments of my life. I came to visit, expecting to find you lying in bed like usual. But when I walked in, you were outside in the garden, working on your roses. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I honestly didn't think I'd ever see that again.
You never told me that.
I didn't. I just stood there and let you enjoy the moment. Because in that second, I wanted to shout, "We did it!" But I knew you were still having ups and downs. So I didn't want to jinx it or say too much too soon. All I did was keep reminding you to take one capsule every day. And looking back now, that was the best thing I ever did, because you kept getting better and better. I always said, I witnessed the greatest blessing of my life unfold right in front of me.
Me too. That formula was a true blessing. The cravings completely stopped. In the morning, I could get up with steady energy. I felt lighter, clearer, healthier, like I had the body of someone 20 years younger. And now, let me reveal to you how my leg looks today, after everything I've been through.
And it wasn't just you who noticed.
Right. I told everyone, our neighbors, friends at church, even extended family.
And once Dad started sharing his story, people began reaching out to me non-stop. Dozens of friends, extended family, even people we barely knew, asking if I could help them too. Since I still had some of the ingredients stored away, I started sharing the formula, and pretty soon my phone was flooded with thank you messages and calls. Men and women of all ages thanking me because their blood sugar was dropping, their energy was back, and their cravings were gone. And honestly, it made me wonder, why didn't I find this sooner? Why isn't this common knowledge? The answer is simple. This formula is 100% natural, which means it's not a drug. And that means Big Pharma can't patent it. They can't slap a brand name on it and charge $900 a month. So instead, they do everything they can to discourage doctors from recommending powerful natural nutrients like these. Because let's be honest, if your blood sugar could stabilize naturally thanks to safe, affordable plant-based compounds, why would you keep shelling out hundreds of dollars every month for prescriptions and insulin? You wouldn't. And that means fewer sales and less money for them. So instead of sharing this life-changing solution, they bury it. They protect their profits at the expense of people's health. And to me, that's not just unfair, it's wrong. but I've made it my mission to change that. My goal now is simple: to make this formula available to as many people as possible. And to do that, I knew I needed a partner, someone who could help me source these ultra-pure, clinically backed nutrients, follow strict FDA safety and hygiene standards, and manufacture the formula right here in the United States so I could oversee every single step and make sure it was done right. After 6 months of searching, researching, and testing, I finally found the right partner facility to create this formula exactly as it should be, with care and precision. And now, I'm proud to introduce you to GlycoMute. GlycoMute is the only 100% natural blend specifically designed to target the root cause of type 2 diabetes, the toxic ceramides clogging your pancreas and liver. We've carefully chosen 13 of the purest, highest quality plant extracts available and blended them into an easy-to-use daily capsule. Each capsule is formulated with you in mind, factoring in your age, weight, how long you've had diabetes, and your current blood sugar levels. That way, your formula is tailored exactly to fit your unique needs. And yes, every capsule is proudly made right here in the USA in FDA-registered, GMP-certified facilities that meet the highest standards of cleanliness, precision, and quality. GlycoMute is non-GMO, totally safe, and free of stimulants, toxins, or addictive substances. GlycoMute doesn't just stabilize your blood sugar. It also works deep inside your organs to flush toxic fat, restore your pancreas, heal your liver, and protect your heart. Already over 59,875 people have transformed their lives with this formula. Jessica N., 52, North Carolina.
Diabetes was running my life. I was up all night to the bathroom, exhausted every morning, and nothing touched the belly fat. My doctor suggested GlycoMute. 6 weeks later, my blood sugar was steady, I was sleeping through the night, and the belly fat finally started coming off.
Peter M., 64, Massachusetts.
I'm 63. A few months ago, I was headed for eye surgery from diabetes complications, blurry vision, wild blood sugar, constant infections. I started GlycoMute, and within weeks, my numbers leveled out. I didn't need surgery anymore. My sight cleared. I felt steady again.
Pretty amazing, right? And all it takes for you to start experiencing the same kind of powerful improvements in your blood sugar, energy, and overall health is to start using GlycoMute right now. The solution is easier than you think, and you can get access to it in the next 90 seconds. So, if you're ready to finally let go of the constant finger pricks, insulin shots, and endless cravings, if you're ready to say yes to real, lasting change, just take a moment to think about how much your health and freedom are worth to you. Really think about it. Right now, millions of people are spending their life savings on expensive diabetes treatments. Doctor's visits at $600 or more per appointment with zero guarantees. Monthly insulin costs of $300 to $1,000. Endless medications with side effects, adding up to thousands every year. And when complications set in, like neuropathy, dialysis, or amputations, the bills can skyrocket to $7,000, even $15,000 a year. That's money wasted on managing symptoms, while the real cause, toxic ceramides, keeps clogging your pancreas and destroying your organs. Because this approach is so groundbreaking, Dr. Richard originally recommended pricing GlycoMute at $700 per bottle, and honestly, it made sense. After 2 full years of intense research and clinical testing, we had created something the world had never seen before. The first individually tailored solution designed to flush ceramides and restore healthy blood sugar. Even our research partners thought $600 was a fair price, given the life-changing results they saw in the trial participants. And when you think about how people spend $7,000 a year on temporary fixes, even $600 would be a bargain. In fact, many of the 59,875 people who've used GlycoMute said they'd gladly pay 3 times that just to keep their blood sugars stable and their health restored. But for me, and for my family, this goes way beyond money. I never want anyone to feel as helpless, scared, or broken as my father did. No one should have to face the fear of losing a leg, their eyesight, or their independence because of diabetes. And no family should have to stand by and watch as the disease steals the person they love. That's exactly why what I'm about to share means so much to me, both personally and professionally. As I speak to you right now, GlycoMute is just about to transform its 60,000th life. That's 60,000 people who've normalized their blood sugar, 60,000 families who've been given hope again. And to celebrate this huge milestone, I'm doing something I've never done before, something that, honestly, has made my team a little nervous. If you join the Glycommute family today, before we hit that 60,000 mark, which could happen at any moment, you'll get your bottle of Glycommute at the lowest price we've ever offered. Not even close to the $700 price Dr. Richard originally suggested. But that's not all. I'm also including my diabetes recovery program completely free. That means direct access to my team and custom guidance through your Glycommute journey until your blood sugar is fully stabilized. As a diabetes expert, my consultations normally cost $200 an hour, but today you're getting the full program at no extra charge. Now, I want to be totally honest with you. This special celebration offer is extremely limited. It's only available until we hit our milestone of 60,000 transformed lives. If you're reading this now, it means there's still time to grab one of the remaining spots, but wait too long and this chance might be gone for good. With my packed schedule as a research lead, I can only personally support a small number of people. So right now, and only until we hit that 60,000 milestone, you have the chance to lock in your Glycommute formula and claim one of the last spots in my personal recovery program. That includes direct access to my team support that's usually valued at $200 per hour, all for just $49 per bottle when you choose the premium 6-bottle package. Let that sink in for a second. That's just $1.63 a day, less than the price of a coffee, to finally reclaim your health, your independence, and your quality of life. And there's even more. You'll also receive 2 incredible free gifts valued at over $810. I'll tell you more about those in just a second. Now, just a heads up, if you go with just 2 bottles, you'll miss out on the deep bulk discount, so your cost per bottle will be a bit higher. Even so, it's still a small price to pay for freedom from diabetes. With the 2 bottles option, you'll get a full 60-day supply of Glycommute for just $79. But here's what Dr. Richard found after studying thousands of real cases. The key to lasting results is giving your body enough time to fully flush out ceramides and repair your pancreas and liver. If you've only had diabetes for a short time, 2 bottles might be enough. But if it's been going on for months or years, our clinical data, based on 59,875 success stories, recommends at least 3 bottles for the best results. Why? Because healing the metabolic damage caused by chronic diabetes often takes 75 days or more. So if you've been struggling with diabetes for a while, or if you want to protect yourself from future complications, our 6-bottle package is absolutely your best bet. Here's something most people don't realize. Glycommute's benefits build up over time. Each day strengthens your pancreas and liver more and more. Your blood sugar gets lower, steadier, and healthier. Your energy rises, your cravings fade, your body starts working like it's supposed to again. And the last thing I want is for you to get this close to full recovery only to run out of Glycommute halfway through. Even missing just 1 day can set back your progress and interrupt the healing process. And because sourcing the rare, high-quality ingredients in this formula is so complex, once we sell out, and we do, it usually takes 6 to 9 months to restock. On top of that, rising ingredient costs mean future prices will likely double. But today, you have the chance to lock in your full supply at the lowest possible price and change your life for good. Don't risk restarting your healing journey or paying more later when you're already so close to permanent relief. All you have to do is enter your information below this video so we can calculate the precise amount of each compound your formula needs. Then, just lock in your 6-month supply or choose the option that fits you best. But that's not all. When you choose our 3-bottle package or anything larger today, you'll also receive our exclusive early action reward package. That's 2 powerful gifts worth over $810 absolutely free. Gift 1, the Deep Sleep and Metabolic Reset Protocol. Valued at $420, say goodbye to restless nights, unstable sugar levels, and morning fatigue. Inside, you'll find a simple 30-second ritual inspired by traditional Japanese medicine that naturally rebalances your nervous system, stabilizes insulin response, and supports healthy overnight fat burning. You'll also discover 3 ancient breathing techniques now backed by modern science, proven to calm stress hormones and improve glucose regulation. Plus, 1 surprising kitchen ingredient used for centuries in rural Japan to ease inflammation and support pancreatic health. And most importantly, you'll get access to the same sleep-based therapy Japanese elders use to keep their blood sugar stable and their energy strong, well into their 80 and 90. Gift 2, the Blood Sugar Brain Blueprint. Valued at $390, designed to fight anxiety, fatigue, and diabetic brain fog. This guide reveals the exact combination of natural nutrients that accelerate pancreas repair and support mental clarity. Based on clinical research and ancient adaptogenic practices, you'll learn 5 powerful mind-body techniques that have been shown to naturally balance stress hormones and reduce cravings. It also includes a special 7-day blood sugar reset routine for sharper focus, better sleep, and long-term glucose control, inspired by Japanese longevity secrets. These resources were instant bestsellers. Even now, we get hundreds of requests for them every week. They're no longer available in print, but I've made a special arrangement to give digital access to everyone who orders 3 bottles or more of Glycomute today. But first, I need to be upfront with you about something urgent. Glycomute is selling out fast, and once it's gone, it could take 6 to 9 months to produce more. Why? Because we use only the purest ingredients and we won't cut corners, ever. Sourcing the rare, high-quality components from around the world takes time. Then we run each ingredient through rigorous testing with a third-party lab to ensure you're getting only the best ingredients that are active, potent, and ready to deliver real results. Only after that do we send them to our US-based, FDA-registered, GMP-certified facility for bottling. We don't accept any batch into our warehouse until it passes every test. As you can see, the process is long and detailed, and totally worth it. But it means we can't just whip up more overnight. And with today's supply chain issues, delays have become even more common. So if you're thinking about waiting, please know you may miss your chance. Picture this. Right now, people across the country are rediscovering what stable, healthy blood sugar feels like. They're finally enjoying steady energy again, waking up refreshed and confident their health is protected against future complications. No wonder they keep coming back for more, not just for themselves, but for their loved ones too. That's why, while this limited time offer is still active, I'm urging you, don't wait if you're on the fence. And to make this even easier, we're offering a huge discount when you order the 3 or 6 bottle package, plus free shipping on both. Once you make your choice, you'll be taken to our 100% secure checkout page. We use 256-bit encryption, the same level of protection as Amazon and Walmart, so your information is totally safe. Just enter your payment details using a debit or credit card, and as soon as you confirm your order, your bottles of Glycomute will be shipped free to your door. If you choose the 3 or 6 bottle option, which we highly recommend while supplies last, you'll get that massive discount and all the free bonuses we mentioned. And here's the best part. This is a one-time payment. No subscriptions, no recurring charges, and no hidden fees. Just a simple, secure checkout, and your bottles are on the way. Now, and this is important, Glycomute is only available on this website. If you see it on Walmart, Amazon, or Costco, it's not the real thing. Our last batch on those platforms sold out in days, and we've since made Glycomute exclusive to this site to protect customers from counterfeits. So remember, this page is the only place to get Glycomute. Still feeling unsure? I get it. You've probably tried a bunch of things already. You've spent money, followed strict diets, and barely seen results. That's exactly why I'm offering a 120-day ironclad money-back guarantee. If you don't see big improvements, or if you're just not happy for any reason, you get every penny back, no questions asked. Even if you've used the entire bottle, you've got a full 4 months to try Glycomute and decide if it's right for you. Again, no hidden fees, no auto-enrolls, just a one-time payment and peace of mind. So go ahead, scroll down and pick the option that fits your journey best. Remember, Glycomute is running out, and once it's gone, we're looking at 6 to 9 months before we can restock. Meanwhile, Big Pharma continues to profit off expensive insulin and prescription drugs. But you don't have to keep living like that. You have a choice to make right now. You can walk away, keep struggling with unstable blood sugar, and hope expensive meds will eventually work. Or you can say yes to Glycomute, the formula designed to flush out toxic ceramides, repair your pancreas, and restore healthy, stable glucose levels. Just imagine a family dinner where you eat without fear of spikes or crashes, waking up refreshed, full of energy, no more brain fog, enjoying long walks, better sleep, and confidence in your health. All that is just one step away. You've made it this far because you're serious about reclaiming your health. Now it's time to make it real. Choose the package that fits your journey, because we only get one body, one pancreas, and one life. So go ahead, click the 6-bottle package or the option that works best for you, and place your order safely right now. And because I've received so many emails about Glycomute, I'm going to answer the most common questions right here so everything is crystal clear. I've only been using GlycoMute for 2 weeks, but my sugar levels are already lower, and I have more energy. Is it normal to see results this fast? Yes, 100% normal. Everyone's body responds a little differently, but many people start noticing improvements in the first week or two. Some see their fasting glucose stabilize almost immediately, while others may need 3 to 4 weeks to feel significant changes. Most people report steady blood sugar, reduced cravings, and improved energy within 6 to 8 weeks of consistent use. And the extra energy you're noticing, that's actually a great sign. It means your pancreas and liver are beginning to clear out toxic ceramides and restore normal insulin function. How do I know GlycoMute will work for me? Great question. And the answer lies in the real cause of type 2 diabetes. It's not just genetics or diet. Research shows that toxic ceramides clog up your pancreas, blocking insulin production and throwing your blood sugar out of balance. GlycoMute is designed to flush these toxic molecules out of your system while repairing the pancreas and supporting liver function. It targets the root cause of unstable blood sugar and metabolic fatigue. That's why it's already helped nearly 60,000 people regain control of their glucose, many after struggling for years with pills, insulin, and restrictive diets. And remember, every order is backed by our 120-day money-back guarantee. You've got nothing to lose. How fast will I get my GlycoMute formula? Once you complete your health profile, our team takes 24 to 48 hours to personalize your formula. After that, your order ships out within 1-2 business days. For U.S. customers, your package typically arrives in 5-7 business days after shipping. Each bottle is sealed and packaged with care to ensure freshness and full potency. Is GlycoMute safe? Any side effects? Yes, GlycoMute is completely safe. It's made in a GMP-certified, FDA-registered facility using only 100% natural ingredients. Our customization process means your formula is tailored specifically to your age, weight, blood sugar history, and how long you've had diabetes. Most people feel completely fine with no side effects. Some report feeling calmer and more energetic during the first few days, which is actually a good sign that your insulin response is resetting and your body is starting to heal. Of course, if you're taking prescription medications, just show the ingredient list to your doctor before starting. Can you explain the guarantee again? Absolutely. We offer a no-risk, 120-day, 100% money-back guarantee. If you're not completely thrilled with your results, whether your sugar hasn't stabilized or you're just not satisfied, simply contact our support team within 120 days and we'll refund every penny. Even if you've used the entire bottle, no questions, no hassle. We believe in GlycoMute and we want you to feel confident trying it out. Should I go with the 3-bottle or 6-bottle package? Great question. We strongly recommend the 6-bottle package, and here's why. The longer you use GlycoMute, the stronger and more permanent your results. Your pancreas and liver need time to fully clear ceramides and restore insulin sensitivity. Once we sell out, it can take 6 to 9 months to restock due to the rarity of ingredients. You save over 30% when you buy in bulk. Plus, you'll also receive the bonus guides, worth $810. Just click the button below, fill in your info on the secure order form, and we'll ship your bottles of GlycoMute right to your door. We can't wait to hear your success story.